Speaking of kids to grow up, few years ago, I would say around 5 years ago or 7 years ago when I first get into the industry, most of my friends or my friends' parents prefer to live in like 3,000 square feet home. But I see the trend change nowadays. Instead of living in a 3,000 square feet home, they prefer like townhome or even condo. Why do you see that happening?
Well, that's a great question. That's a direct reflection of the quality of life that people are really looking for. What I mean by that is that people realize is that when you live in a big home, you definitely have the ability to boast, I live in a big home. But actually, what type of services or amenities are you actually able to enjoy within that home? Or more importantly, what are things that you're sacrificing? What a lot of people realize is that when you go into a condominium, you're actually getting the best of both worlds. You have a lot of the living in terms of habitable space, the very nicely appointed kitchen, nicely laid out design in terms of the living room, the family room, the bedrooms. But more importantly is that a condominium have a lot of amenities. And for nicer condominiums, they have facilities and amenities that have never been heard of. A lot of things that's being offered that really elevates the quality of life. So it's not the quantity of the size of your home that counts. It's actually what you do with it, or what can you do outside the walls of your condominium or townhouse that really speaks to the buyers and all the residents right now.
Speaking of amenities, why do you think Cedarland have such amenities that stand out from the others?
I think that really have to be because of HNW. When they were embarking on planning and devising, strategizing what this project ought to be, and more importantly, what should it mean for the residents of Cedarland, they really took a hard look as to how people live. They took a look as to how people and what was missing in terms of their lifestyle and what people really want to have a one-stop solution. What that means is that able to have a condominium where you have a lot of things that's really convenient that one would really want on a daily basis. So for example, at Cedarland, there is a fully covered passenger drop-off and pickup areas. It is similar to a 5-star hotel in, say, Vegas, but now it is in your home, in your condominium. So whether it's raining, snowing, high winds, you're protected from the elements. So you never ever have to worry about your passengers slipping or falling when they're getting out of a car or slipping on slippery ice. So we've taken all those elements that people have to fight with and contend with, and we've put them at ease. This sense of security is something that a lot of people would yearn for, would pay for, but it's not being offered by any other condominiums around the Markham, or for that matter, within the Toronto greater areas. So that's something very unique. Another thing is that when we put in a full-size basketball court, we have created essentially a community center within our building. Now, we often think of community center drop-in sessions where you have to drive and then you could play badminton, volleyball, table tennis, and that is where most people go to find their recreational facilities. But at Cedarland, it is all there for you within that facility, and it's only for the enjoyment of the residents.
Yep, but when you're speaking about a lot of amenities in the building, I believe a lot of audience may concern about the maintenance fee.
That's a great question.
Will it be going from 54 cents right now to $1 per square foot?
Absolutely not, because one we need to realize that the maintenance fees is actually hinges on the operating costs of all the facilities and of the entire building. That's what maintenance fees is all about, is how much does it take to run that building. So what we have done in devising and planning for Cedarland is to create amenities that doesn't cost a lot of money. We have taken a look. So for example, we've actually taken a look at Fontana where we have a swimming pool. And we realized that there are a lot of challenges with respect to the humidity, the water treatment, a lot of things and a lot of costs was going into it. So what we've done is at Cedarland, we've removed the swimming pool. of which only 18% of residents actually use this. So 82% of the rest are subsidizing for only 18% usage. So what we have done is that we have taken that budget and allocate to other amenities that will bring greater joy and functionality and usability to all the residents. So as I said before, we have the gymnasium. We also have a 24-hour WeWork study library. That's a place where anybody, whether you're a student, college student, you can go there and work on projects and collaboration with your schoolmates in the comfort and security of your own condominium. We also could have WeWork areas, so for people who are needing to meet up with clients, you no longer need to go to a cafe and try to find a table to talk with your clients. You have a very professional environment within the condominium, which is just steps away from your own unit. So a lot of these facilities were meant to maintain the operating costs, but while providing a wider array of services and provisions and functionalities for all the residents.
I believe a portion of the buyer will be investor, and I know that some of the builder disallow you to do assignment. Some of the builder disallow you to do renting during the occupancy period. Would that happen in Cedarland?
At H&W, we strongly understand the importance of the investors and whether they're buying with the intention of for the families, but things may change. So they need to have that flexibility to be able to rent out the unit during interim occupants. So we do allow for that. We also allow for buyers to assign should the situation change that they don't need the unit and they want to sell it. So there's a time frame and opportunity for the investors to do all those transactions, because H&W is very, very sympathetic, knowledgeable, and understanding of the role and importance of the investors in a particular project, as it really helps them support and stabilize the building as a whole.
So last questions, Johnson. What should the existing buyer looking for?
Well, I think what is really important is for anybody who buys an investment really understands that what is the unique characteristics of my particular investments that will stand the test of time. Because realizing that for any investor, when I buy something, I need to consider when I sell it, it needs to be competitive, it needs to be attractive, it needs to be able to outperform any other competition that will be in the market in the years ahead. So having qualities, features, amenities that is different than all the other nearby condominiums or projects, that is paramount to maintaining the sustainability and competitiveness of that particular investment.
All right, thank you so much, Johnson.
Thank you, Ringo.
Right, that will be it for today. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like if you enjoy watching this video. If you want to learn more about real estate market in Toronto, don't forget to subscribe and share. Of course, feel free to contact me at 647-638-9210. Goodbye.